Thank you, Superintendent Malenko. It is my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker for this evening. He was chosen by the class of 2018, and I think it says how awesome Dearborn Public Schools are that students actually chose a Dearborn High graduate to speak at Edsel Ford's graduation. That's them. Our keynote speaker, Demetrius Harmon, is an all-around artist. His love for art has drawn him into various career paths, including but not limited to screenwriting, poetry, acting, and entrepreneurship. He started his clothing brand at age 12 and even placed first place in Dearborn's Young Entrepreneur Academy in 10th grade. Demetrius's talents have gained him over 1 million followers combined throughout his social media. He uses extensive reach to spread awareness for mental health through various mediums such as his short film Be Happy or documentary You Matter. He's currently working on a poetry book as well as maintaining his clothing brand. He hopes to change the world with his art and words. And right now, he progresses towards that goal. Please help me welcome Mr. Demetrius Harmon.
Wow, this is crazy. I don't have any gift cards to give you guys, so I hope my words are enough. Before I start my speech, I just want to get a few things off my chest, and I hope you guys stick with me through that. First, I was told I had to wear a gown, but I spent my hard-earned money on this suit, so. I read my speech for my second mother, Mrs. Shahidi, and she told me, you don't have to just read the speech, put your personality into it. So I suppose me doing that just now is me putting my personality into it. I only ask for a few things from you guys, that you listen with an open heart and open ears, that I need a moment of silence. I need you guys to close your eyes starting now. Don't open your eyes until I say the word childhood. Everyone, please. I want a moment of silence for my godmother, Didi. She was murdered in 5th grade, when I was in 5th grade. I want a moment of silence for my grandfather, Larry. He passed away when I was in 7th grade. I want a moment of silence for my great-grandmother when she passed away. A moment of silence for my Aunt Sarah. A moment of silence for my cousin Chico, who committed suicide. A moment of silence for my Uncle Reggie, who passed away this year. A dentist arrives home from work after a long day. They're at the peak of their career and making 6 figures. They begin to clean their home, and as they're cleaning their home, they stumble upon their childhood journal. Inside that journal holds vivid drawings with deep blues and loving reds, vibrant yellows. They break down in tears as they clench that journal that they once held so dear to their heart. They realize that they gave up on their dreams for the dreams of their parents, for the chase of greed, believing that these material things equate to happiness. This is not a future I want for any of you, and your life is yours to live. It's just begun as we close the first chapter, childhood. Since you can remember, you've been working for this moment. Countless late nights, early moments for this. And as you all sit here, I hope you're as proud of yourselves as I am of you. Actually, give yourselves a round of applause, please. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. Joy Road and Burt, to be exact. And when you think about the type of place and neighborhood I was born in, there's so much darkness, and it's hard to believe that there's any light in the world. But I never let that change my heart. Now look at me, I'm giving a graduation speech. And as I say these things, it's still ridiculous. We can do anything we set our mind to with faith and rigorous work. Which makes me think about how I almost didn't graduate high school. 12th grade year, I was failing Algebra 2. My entire family can attest to this. It just didn't make sense to me. We had to solve for these imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers. How do I find an imaginary number? And to be honest, it still does not make any sense to me, but I told myself that I would do it, and once I did that, it was done. But it wasn't as simple as I just made it seem. I had to get a tutor, which was actually my brother right there that's holding the camera. I had to meet my teacher early in the morning to retake tests and retake tests and retake tests until I got it right. I had to put everything I cared about on hold, including my clothing brand, which is my heart and soul. And to be completely honest with you guys and honest with myself and be transparent, I was suicidal throughout my entire high school career. I just didn't see meaning in my existence. I didn't see meaning in myself, so it was hard to wake up, put a smile on my face, and see meaning in school. But luckily for me, around that time, I found my purpose, which is making people smile, which I have done with you guys since I've been speaking. So I suppose in a crazy way, you guys kept me here on this earth. And so this graduation speech is me returning the favor. And that's all I can do. That's all I can hope for you graduates, is that you find your purpose. More so, find your why. To quote fellow Detroiter Eric Thomas, why you wake up in the morning, why you do what you do, why you can't give up. And when you find your why, every breath you take, every step that you take will be with purpose. You know, I never felt like anything I was doing was wrong. I would be up to 3 a.m. editing these silly videos while a classmate is up to 1 a.m. studying for the ACT. Neither one of us was doing anything that was more important. I was doing something I cared about, and they were doing something they cared about. Everyone has a different purpose, and I urge you all to find yours. Life is crazy. We create our reality and our future with every single thing that we do today. Our past is a direct reflection of our present, and our future comes from our present and things that we do today. Allow yourself to fail. You're going to fail in everything. It's inevitable. If you want to be good at something, you have to fail. But don't just fail forward. Learn from your failures and take something from them, you know. Everyone fails. You can do anything you want in this life if you truly, honestly believe that, you know. If you believe it in your heart. A lot of people say they believe things, but they don't. They don't genuinely believe it. I started my clothing brand in 7th grade. The first year I had my clothing brand, I'm like, yeah, you know, I got the dopest designs. It's gonna sell off the shelves. I didn't sell anything for a year. But then I sold one shirt, made $3 from it. I was like, bet. About to do it. And I did it. 8th grade year, I made $10,000 a month. Wow, yeah, I know, crazy. I blew all that money on candy. They used to have a candy shop in lunch, and I'd be like, look, we about to, talking to all my homies, like, we about to do this. We about to get the Reese cups, about to get the hot Cheetos, everything. I came to school one day with 100 ones and just gave them to the teacher, you know, and just bought everybody something. And then, fresh out of graduation of high school, and I graduated 2016, I moved to California partly from doing these 6-second videos called Vines. Both of those things that I just said sounds far-fetched. It sounds like something out of a storybook. But I believed in my heart that I could do it, and I did it. And none of this is by luck. None of this is by pure chance. Please don't be confused. I made a plan for myself, and I stuck to it. And I believed in myself. This is all the fruits of my labor. This is all hard work. Even this graduation speech is hard work. I was talking to my grandma, and she was like, did you ever think that you would have been giving a graduation speech? And without hesitation, I told her yes. Because I believe in myself. I didn't know it would come this soon. I didn't know it would be at Edsel 4. I thought it would be at Dearborn High. But I did it. Believe in yourself and your choices and your dreams. People won't believe in you until you make them believe in you. I want to tell you guys a story. I didn't go to Dearborn High my 9th grade year. I went to Robichaud. And so I came to Dearborn High. I came to Dearborn High my 10th grade year, and as you guys know, Dearborn is a predominantly Arab community. And so with me being the black child, and within only 20 kids in my class that looked like me, we tended to get grouped together. So there was a fight between 3 students, only 3 students. At the end of this story, 20 students got 10 days of suspension. I got suspended for watching the fight, being around the fight. And so when they took me to the office, everyone's coming down on me. Why didn't you stop the fight? You guys have security guards. I have no business doing that. But then what really stuck with me that the secretary said is, I don't know what kind of community you come from, where you come from, but we're a community here. And with her saying that, it coincidentally made me feel like I wasn't a part of this community. So then flash forward about 5 months later, I'm a part of the Young Entrepreneur Academy. These people that said the things about me didn't know anything about my character, didn't know anything about me as a person. They just judged me. And so, bless you. They didn't know anything about me. So I go on to win the Young Entrepreneurs Academy. I place first place. And it just so happens that I get front page of the Dearborn Free Press. And they put the Dearborn Free Press in the front office. And they have to announce that I'm the winner over the PA. So then I go into the front office, and she's like, oh, my God, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. A Dearborn student, wow. But 5 months ago, she was telling me she didn't know what kind of community I come from, what kind of person I am. She just didn't take the time to. But that's not her fault. She was naive. She didn't believe in my dreams, but I made her. She didn't believe in who I was, but I made her. And I hope that you guys make people believe in you. College may not be the choice for you, and that's okay. There's no blueprint to life, even though the idea of college is sold to us this one-way golden ticket to success and security. I remember my senior year, we had a project in one of my classes, and it was about what college we were going to go to and what major we were going to pick. I'm sitting there, I'm looking around like, who's going to tell her I'm not going to college? I'm sitting there not have taken the ACT. As a senior, I hadn't taken the ACT or the SAT. Hadn't applied to any colleges. And as everyone is around me, it felt like the walls were closing in. This is the first time I began to question if I was doing the right thing, if I was making the right decisions. I began to really think, like, am I doing the wrong thing? But it was kind of too late to back out. But I wasn't. I didn't feel like I was doing the right thing. I moved with purpose, and I felt like everything I was doing was the right steps. Doubt can come from anyone. Don't put it past anyone. It can come from your closest friends, from your family, from a stranger. To give an example, I remember my god sister told me, what are you going to do for the rest of your life, make these 6-second videos? Well, flash forward to now, these 6-second videos got me here. Those 6-second videos got me in California. Those 6-second videos and the platform that it gave me got me to 2 million people, allowed me to reach 2 million people. To tell them, everything's going to be okay. To be able to tell you guys that everything's going to be okay. And to believe in yourself. So I defend my dreams. And that's the main thing I want you guys to do, is to defend your dreams with everything in you, because your dreams are all that you have. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'll say that again so you guys can soak it in. Comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare yourself and your journey to the journey of others. And it's hard, I know it. It's so hard. We look on Instagram, we like, oh, he's even looking at me. Meech is 20. He just graduated. He lives in California, has a BMW, doing all these things. It's hard to not glamorize and often put ourselves down by looking at the next person. It's a trap. It's easy to look at everyone and believe that they have it all figured out, but we don't. You can look at me and feel like I figured it out. You can look at these celebrities and feel like they have it figured out. But we all wake up every day like, what am I going to do? I wake up every day not knowing what I'm going to do. You have to change the way that you think and live in order to be happy. You can't go outside of yourself to seek validation. You have to take that and put it within. You have to be happy. You have to make yourself happy. You have to believe in the steps that you are taking. Validate your own success, and don't look for it within other people. You can never let yourself down if you always do your best. Always do your best. Now I want to take the time to talk about support. I hope all of you have at least one person in your life that has acted as your legs when you felt like you can no longer walk. Someone who has invested as much time, energy, and love into you as they would invest into themselves. Which makes me think about teachers, because we tend to think teachers are servants. Teachers are in debt to us. This is our job. This is their job, we tend to think, They signed up for this. There's teachers who don't go home until late night not seeing their children because of us. Because they believe in us. We're their children more so. And we don't show them any gratitude. We don't express our love for them, the things that they do for us. So today, after this graduation, I want you to go up to any teacher, any mentor that has helped you, and tell them you love them. Love. Don't say, I appreciate you. Tell them you love them. Thank you. Because they didn't have to do what they do. They didn't have to go above their call of duty for you guys. But they did because they care about you. My mom right here is in the middle of the stage. Look at her. She, it's me. What can I say? That's my baby. I want to talk about mama for a second, if y'all don't mind. My entire support system is my mother. Everything I do is for my mom. If I told her I was depressed, she would sit and talk to me and let me talk and listen. If I told her I was suicidal, she would sit and let me cry on her lap, then take me to go get some food, watch a movie, anything to make me feel better. If I told her I didn't feel good and I didn't feel like getting out of bed in the morning because, with me being depressed, she would call to school like, yeah, hello, Demetrius Harmon's not coming in school today. And just how much she was there for me, and without invalidating how I felt, without invalidating the things I was going through, whether she understood it or not, kept me here today. I'm alive because of my mother. I firmly believe I would have ended my life if it wasn't for her. So today I don't just I'm not just alive for my mother, but I live for my mother. I want to talk to the parents. Parents, support your children in whatever they want to do, not just what you envision for them. A lot of parents have their children, and before they can even talk, they're like, yeah, he's going to be a doctor. And they don't care to listen to whatever that child wants to do. Support your children in what they want to do, or they'll hate you. Simple as that. Angelo, my best friend. Can you stand up for a second? Can everybody give me a round of applause for my best friend? Wait, stand up again. Hold up. As y'all can see, he has my hoodie on. This is the support I'm talking about. It's hot, and he has my clothing brand on. I met Angelo in 8th grade, and at first I didn't like Angelo. I didn't. I hated him. I was really insecure and just not who I am now when I met Angelo. And a lot of things I wanted to possess myself, Angelo possessed. He was confident in himself, carefree. All the girls wanted him. I wanted all of these things. And so, in turn with me hating myself, I put that on him and hated him. But then when we got past that, we would ride our bikes every weekend because his dad lived around the corner. And those times meant more to me than I can think Angelo would imagine. It saved me from being in my room in a dark space, thinking these dark thoughts. We didn't even talk about these things. I didn't tell Angelo I was suicidal until around 11th grade. But just being able to be alone with someone and know that if I needed him, he was there, meant the world to me. Now Angelo is my roommate in California. Support is everything. Oh, Angela, I love you. I have this friend named Dante. We graduated together from Dearborn. He goes off to college, and one day he just randomly texts me. He's like, we're taking a psychology class. I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know what you want me to say to that. So I just give him a vague response, and he's like, we're learning about depression and mental health. I'm like, all right. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I want to help you. I really care. And to feel like someone cares to that degree where they just think of me. He's taking an entire course just to learn how to help me with the things that I'm going through meant the world to me. My three brothers, one of them isn't here. I have Deonte, and DeAndre. I used to not have friends growing up. I was the nerdy kid that read manga, watched Naruto, drew in journals. So I didn't have much friends. But my mom always told us that if we had anyone, we had to have each other. And we took that to heart, That's the one constant thing in my life, the most constant thing. If I don't have anyone, I know I got my brothers. My dad isn't here, but I want to talk about my dad. My dad treats me like his treasure. Every time he looks at me, I just see him like, I see how proud he is in his eyes. My dad worked, and is probably at work right now for everything that I have, so I work for my father. I work to retire my father. And these are the things that are important to me. That's why I'm spending so long to talk about support. So tell your support system today that you love them. I must be saying something right. Y'all clapping a lot. Now what? I'm sure you all have a sense of excitement for the future as well as a sense of hopelessness. It's inevitable. There's a life to be lived, and I can't wait to see what you all do with it. I hope you learn to do the things that fill your heart with glee. I hope you learn to live your life untethered. I hope you learn to cherish your friendships and the times you all spend together. But above all else, I hope you all choose to walk a path that makes you happy. Not your friends, not your family, but you. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with the life you choose. And if you have any goals, I hope the goal is happiness. Because that's all that matters. You are all that matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Demetrius. You're welcome here anytime. Thank you, Demetrius. You're welcome at Edsel Ford anytime. Our next speaker is the class of 2018 senior class president, Miss Reagan Rankin, as voted by her peers. I'm proud to introduce to you Miss Reagan Rankin.
Well. Look what we have here. Edsel Ford, class of 2018. Hi. I've spent 4 years with most of you, some more, and your hellos never got old. Although the past couple weeks have been a nice break, I'm still having a hard time imagining a life where I don't get to hear your hellos every day. A life where I don't get to see your smiles and glares. A life where I don't get to hear your laughs and complaints. A life where I don't get to see my classmates tossing their lunch out the window to Oscar, also known as Billy the Peacock. However, when I do imagine our lives after this place that we call home, I smile because I know I have so much faith in the things we will take with us into the world. We are a class of overachievers, a class of intelligent, athletic, determined students, a class of empathetic, compassionate, charitable humans, a class of funny, loud, and spirited Thunderbirds. I know being a Thunderbird and going to this school alongside you all built me into who I am today. In this place, we learned how to be... In this place, we learned how to stick up for the sweet, sweet black and white we wore and continue to wear so proudly. In this place, we grew with each other and learned how to not only be better students, but how to be better people. I look at all of you and realize we are all a lot different than when we showed up here 4 short years ago, when we looked forward to doing all the things that being a senior meant, driving to school on our own, sitting in front at football games, prom, and wearing these caps and gowns. We got to do all these things, but we also gave new things for future classes to look forward to: Charity Week, Key Club, Flock, and walking past the Spirit Bowl in the hallway. What I love and am most proud of is that we did all these things together. On our last day, my friend shared with me something a classmate mentioned to her, and for me, this sums up who we are as Thunderbirds. He said he was having a hard time figuring out what it was that was making him so sad about leaving Edsel. And then he said that he realized it was the first place he felt like he belonged. Thank you, Edsel Ford, class of 2018, for making this a place where people feel like they belong. Over the past 4 years, my eyes have been opened to the relationships people have with their peers at other high schools, and I'm telling you, there's nothing like the relationships that we have here at Edsel. In all seriousness, over in that building, even when I've distanced myself, I've never felt like a stranger, and it's because of the people I was surrounded by. This fall, as we spread out, we will continue to do more together, miles apart from each other. We will take with us what being a Thunderbird taught us. Leaving this place, we changed to go out and change the world as well. I'll leave you with these words from the infamous Mr. Ridzik. In the adult world, you gotta know how to get stuff done. And I think that this class is capable of getting that stuff done. Break a leg, Thunderbirds. Thank you.
Well done, Reagan. Thank you. Please help me welcome our student-at-large speaker who was selected by a team of officials to represent the student body at large through a speech submission format. Please help me welcome our speaker, Ms. Gadi Bzeih.
Good evening, everyone, and Ramadan Kareem. Ladies and gentlemen, family and faculty, and my fellow classmates of the class of 2018. Many of you recognize me as Gadi, or Gada, or Maria, as Mr. O'Rourke likes to call us. Over the years at Edsel Ford High School, I learned that school isn't just about education. It's about recognizing that what you build is a long-lasting brand and legacy. You may know me as the most involved, or someone who's always bustling around from one activity to the next. But 5 years ago, I was just someone struggling to find her place. I attended O.L. Smith and Eunice for 3 months each, so for the bigger part of my 8th grade year, my only friend was my twin sister. You can all imagine how terrifying the thought was to come to a high school where everybody knew each other from before. And to be honest with you, I felt displaced. Fast forward to 2 years later, and you see me surrounded by my new friends, you guys, and a member of more clubs than I can remember. And it was then that I paused and realized that I had found a home. And there are a few people in particular I have to commend for that. I have to thank my mother for supporting me and being my backbone. I don't think I can repay you for that. Sultan, my brother, I'm grateful to have you. You've motivated me to pursue things I thought I would never have. I thank you and I owe you. I want to thank my family, and I want to thank my sisters who have been supporting me every step of the way by guiding me and being there for me unconditionally. I really could not have asked for more amazing sisters. Miss Haddad, I want to thank you for all the years you dedicated to me and my fellow students. You taught me patience, dedication, and perseverance. You're passionately giving, and those are only a few words that can describe your humble soul. I can proudly say I wouldn't be standing on this pedestal on this very special day if it wasn't for you. Thank you again and again, and I hope you keep inspiring generations to come. It is a great honor to give this address, and I promise I do not take it lightly. I have chosen every word quite carefully because I am fully aware of the responsibilities you all have bestowed upon me. One thing I will never forget about Edsel Ford is the multitude of opportunities it presented me with to shape who I am today. I've never been so lost of words before. As I stand here before you, I find myself experiencing numerous swirling emotions, some of which are sadness, fear, but most of all, excitement and happiness, because we made it. I would have never thought that I would reach the finish line, but here I am. There were difficult times in which I thought I wasn't going to make it, whether it was pulling 2 all-nighters in a row sophomore year, or reaching goals like the $20,000 we raised for Doctors Without Borders. This year, my last year, was so full of accomplishments that really made a difference, not just here in Dearborn, Michigan, but overseas. Now here we are, ready to graduate. After 4 years of defending the nest, we find ourselves being pushed off of it and urged to fly away on our own. And even though it feels like we're being torn away from our best memories, there is definitely a positive side. As Oren Woodward once said, success is on the other side of your comfort zone. Today, we cross that threshold and embark on the journey to the rest of our lives. And because I know our futures are what we make of them, I have complete faith that each and every one of you will make it something awesome. And not only contribute to your own brand, but also to the school that helped you all create it. While I'm ready to continue my academic endeavors, knowing that Edsel has thoroughly prepared me for them, I'm also filled with a deep sense of nostalgia and sentiment. Edsel Ford has been my second home for the last 4 years, a breeding ground for my success, and a place I will always represent proudly. Edsel Ford, teachers, fellow students, and everyone gathered here to celebrate this wonderful day, I only hope I can return to you a fraction of what you've given to me. Thank you.
Great job, Gadi. Thank you. Now please join me on this wonderful occasion in enjoying a special musical selection by the Edsel Ford High School Band, led by Miss Sarah Oren, as they perform the Beach Boys' greatest hits. Splendid performance. Thank you. I would like to take a moment and recognize the class of 2000 student leaders who've contributed to the brand and legacy of Edsel Ford during the past 4 years. These students have worked very hard to lead Edsel student body to the next level. Audience, please hold your applause until all the names have been announced. Students, please stand up when I call your name. Class of 2018, student class officers, the class of 2018 president, Ms. Tahani El-Mujahid. Vice President, Ms. Lena Amari. Secretary, Ms. Danya Hamoud. Treasurer, Ms. Malaya Prescott. Student Council Officers, President, Ms. Reagan Rankin. Vice President, Ms. Gadi Bzeih. Treasurer, Ms. Mary Trimble. Secretary, Ms. Madeline McCullough. And the class representatives, Ms. Marlene Muscott and Ms. Hamza Essie. Also, the junior class officers for 2019 and our ushers tonight, President, Ms. Brianna Biliat, and Vice President, Mr. Shahab Abdullah. Thank you. Now's the moment you've been waiting for. 4 years ago, our current graduating class entered the hallways of Edsel Ford High School with one goal in mind. And tonight, right now, this goal is about to be realized. The time has come to confer the much-deserved honor to our graduating class. Students and guests, please do not leave prior to all the graduates receiving their diplomas and being recognized. So without further delay, I call upon the counseling department to come forward and assist in the presentations of our diplomas to the class of the 2018. Would the first group of graduates please rise?